channel. It is Seriously Paige. That's what I'm calling myself on here because I seriously can't believe like I'm actually doing this. So it's like, seriously Paige? Are you okay? You seriously doing this? Yes, I'm seriously doing YouTube, and let's just get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? So my first video is about getting a UK Tier 4 student visa because, as many of you know, I'm living in London right now and I'm on a UK Tier 4 student visa. So why not talk about it, you know? Alright, so there's like a list of steps that I have for everyone. So if you want to write this shit down, you're more than welcome to. What the fuck is a visa? Alright, a visa is an endorsement on your passport that states that you can either enter, leave, or stay in a country for a specific amount of time. So depending on your visa, it depends on how long you get to stay, enter, or leave that country. So I have a 3-year Tier 4 student visa, so I am legally allowed to live here for 3 years. So my visa, I obtained my visa for September 2015, and I will no longer be able to use my visa in September 2018. So there you go. So depending on your visa, it depends on how long you get to stay here. So whatever yours says or whatever you've applied for, then that's your visa. Yeah. First, you need a passport. So you can Google where you can go get a passport. You have to get a some government office place. It's been a while since I got my passport, so I can't quite remember how that all works, but you need one to leave the country, and you need a place for this endorsement to go, you know, so you need that passport. Before you go get your passport, you need to take a passport photo, and usually if you go to CVS or Walgreens or something, they give you a little photo thing, and it has 4 little passport photos on it. So take one and then save the other 3 because you'll need them a little down the line. Visit the country that you want to go to school in, or you want to live in, or you want to whatever in, before you even decide to get a visa and move there, because that could just end up really shit on your half, because you might go somewhere and be like, oh, actually this sucks, so do your research before you just jump ship and move. Yeah? Okay, cool. Okay, step 3 is finding a university to go to. So, you dead set on your country. You're like, fuck yeah, want to move there, had a blast there, moving there. Yes. Then, you just need to find a place to go to school. It's not that hard. If you've already gone to college in America or wherever you're from, then you know how it is. You just apply. You just apply yourself. So that's step number 4. Once you find a place to go to school, then apply there. Now, pro tip number 1 is that schools in the UK, they do accept US financial aid for those other fellow Americans out there who want to come to school here. So that's the thing to look out for. Pro tip number 2 is that when you're applying for schools in the UK, you just apply directly. Don't bother with that bullshit UCAS stuff. That's for people who are UK citizens and part of the EU and shit like that, and all of that makes sense to them, but to other people in the world, at least to me, it didn't make any fucking sense. So you don't have to do with that bullshit. Just apply directly, and your school will probably have links and stuff, so it should be pretty straightforward. Well, now we're on to step 5. Alright, so you've applied. Congratulations. Yes. Alright, so now step 5 is your Skype interview. So most likely you will have a Skype interview with the universities that you've applied to, and these universities are kind of checking back and seeing if you're the right fit for them, and just kind of getting a feel. So they're going to ask you why do you want to go to school here? Why do you want to come to the UK? What, what have you been doing before this? And it's just really straightforward, and they just genuinely want to know some stuff about you. So then if that goes well, they will send you an offer letter. When I had my interview, it went really great, and it was super easy. But note, in the UK, depending on where you live in the States at the time, it was 6 hours ahead here. So I had my Skype interview at 8 a.m. But for me it was 8 a.m. But to them it was 2 p.m. Try and get out of bed and look okay. I just woke up and they're 32. They have half their fucking day is done anyways. But Anyways, so I had a really nice experience, and I did meet on Skype the head of my department and the lady, the international lady that I had been talking to with my whole process, and everyone was like really cool and really nice about it. So within an hour after my Skype interview was done, I received an offer letter in my email box. I was like, all right. So it happened really fast. For international students, schools normally want to get back to you pretty fast about your offer letter and stuff, because it gives you time to decide if you want to accept it or not, and it also gives them time to figure out like what's going on, and like they know we have a long process as international students to get our shit together, so it's just kind of like helping us so we can help them so they can help us type thing. With your offer letter, there's going to be a bunch of requirements and stuff, so just make sure that you read these requirements, and they might ask you to pay some of your tuition fees, or they might ask for this and that, and so just make sure that you make things really easy for your school as well as yourself, and just try to do this as fast as possible so you can get your CAS letter. Which brings us to step number 7. Alright, step number 7 is your acceptance letter. So after you did all that bullshit with doing everything in your offer letter and whatnot, then you finally get your acceptance letter, and here it's called a CAS, which stands for Certificate of Acceptance, and this is super important because you're going to need it when you fill out your visa stuff online, when you go get your residence card, when you get to customs, like all of that stuff. You will, and I believe when you enroll, like, then you need it then too. So step number 8, yes bitch, we're on step number 8, see, you're getting there, everything's fine. Alright, is finally going online and filling out your visa, which seems like a breeze, but I remember they asked a lot of questions. I don't remember what questions exactly they asked, but it's pretty straightforward, and you will have to upload documents like of your CAS letter and of your passport, and probably like your government ID or something. I don't know, you have to upload like a lot of things. It'll all tell you on the website, so don't even worry about it, it's fine. In this wonderful step number 8, you're going to have to pay some fees. And I know, we all like paying fees, don't we? So you're going to pay for your visa fee, and I believe it's £328 per person. So, when I say per person, because like if you got kids or something, you can like bring your kids over here, but like you got to fill out some shit, whatever. So it's another £328 per dependent. So keep that in mind if you got some babies and shit. But it was just me. I just brought me over. So I just paid the one visa application fee. But then you got to pay for the NHS essentially. And I want to say this cost me about a good old $800 or so. It was a bit expensive, but I mean, if you look at the bright side, like if you like break your leg here, or something happens to you and you have to go to the hospital, or you know, you get sick and you go to the doctor, like it doesn't, like you don't have to pay anything. I mean, technically you did pay something in the beginning, but like, you know, if I break my leg in the States and I don't have health insurance, then I have to pay all this money that I don't have. So I mean, I'd much rather pay like $800 and be covered for my time here than how it is in the States, you know what I'm saying? So step number 9, at the end of your application process online, there's going to be a thing, and it's going to tell you something about like your visa application center appointment, or getting your biometric residency card, permit thing, whatever it's called. And yeah, so what you do there is you go in and you make an appointment, and my appointment, the closest day I could get it to when I was doing my application, was 2 weeks after the fact. So 2 weeks later, after I was done with my application, I went down to this place and they took my fingerprints and took my picture. And then when I went there, before I went there, I had a list of things to bring. So I brought my passport, my CAS letter, maybe some like other documents that I was told to print off, and a passport size picture of myself. So that's where your other passport pictures come in handy, you know what I'm saying? So they do all that, and then they send all your stuff to like a home office or somewhere, so then they can create your residency card permit thing. And then I'll get to what you do with that later, but just remember, like, that's a thing. Once you're done with all of your application processes, then you post your shit. And I posted mine to a head office in New York, And in this packet for the home office, I had my passport. I had another passport size picture of me, which again, that passport size picture. And then I had my CAS letter, I had my bank statements, and my immunization record card thing. And I'm sure I had some other things. Like it's like a list. Like they will give you a list of shit to send them. So just make sure you send all of the things, or they could decline or deny or whatever your visa, or it could be sent back to you, or you have to do it all over again, and like you do not want to do all of this over again. Trust me. So another thing when you pack your shit in the post is you need to also include another prepaid envelope with a return address on it, and that's how you will get your shit back to you. So I posted that off, and then I myself took a vacation because all that was hard work. I got my passport back in about 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, about 2 weeks. And I think you can also get it like expedited or something like that. So it's a faster process, and maybe I did that as well. I can't quite remember, but there's options. Like they'll tell you options, but like I was kind of on a time crunch. Like I need this shit now. Like I need to get this done, type of thing. So once you do all of that and you send it off, and then you get it back, well, bitch, you're like almost ready to go. Like you're almost like already there. So when you get your visa back, then you need to take a picture of it or photocopy it and send it to your school, because your school, like, they need to know. Like they need to know if you have it or not, because they're your sponsor, and I can get into all of that later. But tell your fucking school. Just have a few more points for you guys, and then like you're golden. You're all good. You're fucking ready. Well, you're not ready yet, because I need to make some more videos for you, but you're pretty much there. Point number 1, if you have a visa that's 6 months or less, then you can arrive in the UK 1 week before your course starts. And if you have a visa that is more than 6 months, then you can arrive 1 month before your course starts. So I am here for 3 years, so I came a month before my course started, which was great. I came in August, so I got to go to like Reading Festival and stuff, and I just like got a general feel of like how this place worked and what I was getting myself into, and it was just like, it's really nice just to come a bit early. So I recommend that if you can. Okay, there's one huge thing that I almost forgot talking about, but if English is not your first language, then you need to take some tests to prove that you can read, write, and speak English. Because over here, everyone speaks English for the most part. English is like their main language. So it's really important that you yourself can speak English, because you don't want to move somewhere, again, back to the whole country thing, where like, you know, you don't speak the language, and it's going to be really hard for you. Plus, you know, you might be thousands of miles away from home, and that can be like really frustrating. So make sure that if you can't speak English, you learn how, and so you can take these tests and come over here and experience all the great things that England has to offer. And there's a list of exempt countries that don't have to take these tests, because they know that English is like their main language. So it'll say like all that stuff on like the website, so don't worry. And then my very last tip is that you should start this whole process 3 months before your course starts. So in my video, it might not seem like this process is all that daunting or stressful, but it really is. You just have to take it a step at a time, and just everything's going to be okay. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just take a drink of something. Everything's going to be okay. And I really hope that my video helped you guys, and I'll be making more of these kind of like, I'm not going to make like visa videos, but I'll make like more videos about what to expect when you move here and things like that. Because when I moved here, before I moved here, I was like looking for YouTube to help me, because I watched people's YouTube videos to help me, and I didn't see like a lot that I could like really relate to, so I'm just trying to help you guys out, give you some advice. So thank you for watching my lovely first video, and I hope to see you soon.